Okay, we're going to go over Soil EC, the Soil Quality Educator Guide quickly. And the first part of the guide goes over what EC is, and it's simply a measure of salts, soluble salts such as nitrates, sulfate, ammonia, etc. Also, there's a section in there that goes over inherent factors, things such as the parent materials for soils, because salts can originate from weathering of rocks. Also, areas that are arid, less rainfall, are going to be naturally higher in EC. Areas where water concentrates, areas with restrictive layers where we can't move the water through the soils. Also, it talks a little bit about salinity management, irrigation, proper fertilization, all of those types of things you can use to manage EC. So that's important to go over with your students. Talks about some of the problems with soil function, such as nutrient cycling and uptake, and that's the main reason that's so important to take EC, because even low levels of EC can impact our especially vegetables and especially crops at beginning stages of crop development. The next section of the book has 3 tables that's important to go over with your students once we do the test, so they understand what it means. The first one goes over very important soil processes, dealing with nutrient cycles, for example, dealing with decomposition, respiration, a loss of nitrogen gas, which is important under saturated conditions, and the level of EC that can impact that. And then next, it has both the EC 1-to-1, which we're going to be doing a 1-to-1, 1 part water, 1 part soil test. You need to know your texture of your soil, so make sure the students identify the texture before you move forward. At the bottom of that table 2 is all textures, which is the lab method. If you send it in a lab, it's texture neutral, versus the 1-to-1, we need to know the texture. And lastly, we have the crops. And they're different levels, from the most tolerant barley to the least tolerant, that's green beans. Some discussion questions with your students, and then what's needed, and what we all have here. So we have the soil probe, the scoop, the squirt bottle, the distilled rainwater. All the materials that you need will be showing you in the test itself.